What's up, guys? It's your boy Dillo Pillow. Welcome to the 6th song draft. For this one, my guest and I'll be drafting a team of 5 Logic songs, and you guys will get to vote on who wins. The loser owes the winner a Toyota Prius Hot Wheels car. I'd like to welcome my guest for today, Bryce, aka Fitz Records. Bryce, is it true that you would sell your soul to meet Logic?
Probably. I would sell probably one of my limbs alongside with it as just a little housewarming gift. But I appreciate you having me on. I'm excited. It's gonna be hype.
Yeah, for sure. It's gonna be a good battle because he's a lot of good songs.
Even though his discography is I don't want to say controversial, but you get what I mean. Every one of his albums have at least a few songs that I think people can universally agree are pretty good.
Yeah, for sure. All right, before we get into it, like the video, subscribe for future song drafts, and check out some of the other videos I've done in the series. I've had some great guests. For today's draft, we're gonna pick one song from each of Under Pressure, The Incredible True Story, Everybody, Confessions of a Dangerous Mind, and No Pressure. Bryce, since you're my guest, you can have the first pick, starting with No Pressure.
All right, so for No Pressure, now this is kind of a cheat, but it's not going to be a cheat, but I'm going to vote for Open Mic Aquarius 3.
Fuck all the bullshit dick from deep down inside. I wrote this sitting shotgun in my favorite ride.
That song is just great. I mean, honestly, I prefer Aquarius 3, the second half of the song, more, but just the fact, the introspective nature of the first half of the song literally being an open mic and him kind of just spitting his heart out, I guess, about where he is, and then the switch to Aquarius 3 where he primarily focuses on his son. I don't really know why it's called Aquarius 3, honestly. It doesn't really have any relation to The Incredible True Story, but I think that's probably the best song in No Pressure just for all that.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on in that track. The setup is really cool to set the scene, and it's you can actually kind of imagine what's happening. I always have to respect that because Logic definitely likes to work those types of things into his song. I remember the Aquarius 3 music video where he raps it faster and then they slowed it down to match the words, and that always blew my mind. That was absurd.
I've seen that behind the scenes video too. Shout out his filmographer and assistant now, JT, who filmed that.
Yeah, that was fire. That was fire. All right, for my pick from No Pressure, I'll go with GP4.
I live by the beat, I die by the beat since 1990. I live by the beat, I die by the beat like MPC a car.
It's kind of a cheat code just because the elevator sample, I'm a big Outkast fan, but I mean the beat is still super dope. They added some nice layers to it on that one. Logic performed very well on the track. That's his style of beat that he works really well on. I think that's one you can kind of just sit back and chill and listen to what he has to say. You're not really getting too into it, but it's a good song for sure.
I love how it's it's a normal length song, but it's just one verse and there's a hook in the beginning and the end. The verse is extremely long, but he holds his own during it.
Yeah, for sure. Sometimes I didn't even remember that, you know what I'm saying? It really is just so well put together, you can just let it run. Well, let's move on to Confessions of a Dangerous Mind.
Now, I'm gonna choose the title track, Confessions of a Dangerous Mind.
Cause it ain't everything that it's cut out to be. My life is good, but not good as it's about to be. Cause I got vision, don't fuck with division. The gap where I'm bridging, I think that I am.
I'm sure you probably saw that coming, but I think it's pretty undeniable that that's probably the best track on the album. There might be one more that can be argued about. He's very honest on this song. I think it was the lead single, and it did not really set the tone for the rest of the album, honestly, at all. But it is honestly one of his best songs, honestly, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think there's a few standouts, 2 on this album that are much better than the rest. So I can definitely understand that pick. I'm gonna go with Lost in Translation.
Like an illest sample from the 70s. I'm feeling heavenly. Grew up in Maryland, and all my neighbor is Beverly. Even when Bobby Boy over the hill and he's 70.
Beautiful track at the beginning. There's lots of stuff going on with the beat, so many different sections within the track. I love that production, and there's a lot of references to his inspirations on the track. Some really good writing on it too. So I think that track and the title track do have similarities in that starting and ending with a good track is good, but the rest of the album, I don't know about that.
Yeah, there are some in there that are alright, but I understand why the average hip hop fan would listen to that and be like, what is going on? I get it.
Yeah, he was all over the place with it. It happens. Moving on to Everybody.
All right, for Everybody, I'm gonna choose America.
Make America great again, make it hate again, make it right, make everybody fight. Fuck that, streets disciple.
That is kind of, it's not quite a posse cut. They're not trading verses, because I know Logic has a few parts in there, but I think it's just probably one of the more impactful tracks on the album. It was very current for the time, 2017. It did deal a lot with politics and Trump and stuff, but I still think it still holds up today, everything he's saying. I think it's definitely the most political Logic's ever got and the most well executed he has been politically.
Yeah, for sure. I like that track a lot. There's a lot of good messages within it. I think, getting a lot of great rappers on there too who had something to say. A lot of those lines still stand out on that track. Like whenever I run it back, like you said, it still holds up for sure. All right, for my pick from everybody, I'll go with Killing Spree.
Everybody wanna get high. Everybody wanna live life like they can't die. Everybody gotta be right. Everybody scrolling.
This is one of Logic's like harder tracks. I definitely like that, and the hook on that is kind of repetitive, but I think it gets its point across pretty well. Said some real shit on this track. Like he called out a lot of hypocrites. I think the line "everybody looking for the meaning of life through a cell phone screen," that one always like hits with me. Like I always remember that line, so I think that was an important one for sure, especially in the context of like the album. The feature, Ansel Elgort, aka Baby Driver, was actually a good feature though. Like he did a good job.
He did good. Now that song's a banger, honestly. I remember when that came out and was like, oh shit.
Yeah, because he doesn't have any that go like that hard. Like there's a few, I guess like Bounce maybe goes that hard as well, but like it's not that many, so I have to appreciate it. Let's move on to the incredible true story.
All right, so I've selected City of Stars. Now, this song, it honestly has like two parts, despite not really having like a beat change or anything. The beginning, obviously, more singing, and Logic has gone into the singing path before on other projects, which we will not speak of. But I think this is, despite it being from 2015 so far, I think this is his best execution of singing, honestly. The song is just so grand. Like, you can listen to that and it honestly like takes you to a different place. And then that whole second part of the song with the verse talking about how the beginning of the song sounds like a love song and he's singing, but really he was singing to the perspective of hip hop, and he explains that in his second verse where he's rapping now. I don't know if I'm just ignorant, but I haven't really heard any other artists make a song quite like that with that concept. So that's definitely my favorite on that album.
Yeah. I think you could really pick like any favorite on that album. That is,
yeah.
I don't know. You could argue that is his best, second best. Like I'm between that and Under Pressure personally. I'm gonna go with Like WOAH.
I've been feeling like a motherfucking postman, sending letters to the people, all the letters that I got. I'm like an old man. Hold up when the old man.
I think this has always been one of my favorites. I remember when this album first came out, this was one that I actually like stayed up till midnight for, like way back. That was one of the first times I did that. Wow. And just the way the beat draws you in, and then he comes and he's like, I've been feeling like a motherfucking postman. Like that always hits. I love that. His writing is dope on the track. The hook is simple. I think he nailed a lot of the hooks on this album. I think that's why a lot of people love it. So he did a great job.
It's a very musical album.
Just super well constructed track. I've had it on repeat for years, so I'm happy to pick that one. Final pick, we're going to Under Pressure.
This is actually my favorite hip hop song of all time as well from this album, because this Under Pressure is probably like my favorite album, and it's got to be the title track from Under Pressure.
Little brother, this is your sister. You're busy, I get you, but I insist you call me back because I miss you. I wish you well, I wish you.
I feel like you could like write an essay about like the song Under Pressure. The actual song portion, first like half or so of him talking about like how he's finally made it in rap, he has all this money, every diamond in his chain's a milestone, and then he goes to the voice calls of like saying like the other side of him being like, damn, I'm really not spending time with my family, that's really because his family's always calling him asking for stuff, so he's battling with these emotions and showing like real phone calls and rapping from the perspective of his real family members of stuff they've said and how that's affected him and his career. And I think at the end of the song, what really like makes it a great song is he never really like gives his like final thoughts or like opinion on the situation, because I don't think he really knows. I mean, it's something he's clearly struggled with and has been struggling with, and I think every artist or any celebrity really will struggle with just fame and family and how much time and how you balance your time, stuff like that. That concept was really executed well in that song, which is why it's like probably one of my favorite songs of all time.
Yeah, I mean, that's a super important song in his discography. Under Pressure is like my favorite Logic album for sure, and one of my favorite albums ever. Like, it's just so meaningful, and like hearing that at like a certain point in my life was very important for me as well. So he said a lot of great things on that album, and that track is a great example of it. I don't know, this is a tough one because I love all these songs.
Yeah, you could say anything, honestly.
I'll go with Buried Alive.
Death and taxes, that's all we give. You can make a life but can't make a living. You can make it work, but that still ain't driven.
I love the emotions captured in the track. it's just so beautifully put together. I think like all the vocal layering and stuff he did on that one too. It's just like such a Logic-esque track. The production is really good. In terms of his artistic decisions, I always look back on this track and just remember certain moments of that really stuck with me. The outro to the track is awesome too.
Yeah, I think that was one of the earliest like really musical tracks he made, honestly.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
More grandiose.
And you saw that grow as he went on more and more. We had a lot of picks here that show that his discography is good. Like there's a lot of great songs in there for sure, and he's progressed into a lot of different sounds. It'll be hard for people to vote on who's the better team here.
I see it could go anyway. I think we both have a pretty solid picks here, honestly.
Yeah, I think we were on like the same page with a lot of stuff too. Like we picked like similar tracks, so I don't know what's gonna set it apart. All right, so make sure you guys go vote. That'll be in the community tab on my channel. Thank you, Bryce, for coming on today.
I appreciate it. Appreciate the platform.
Yeah, make sure you guys subscribe to Bryce, aka Fitz Records. I'll link that in the description of the video. And you know, we might have a new Logic album soon. Vinyl Days. Up in the
He
air.
ain't dropping that shit. He lying, bro. He don't know what he's doing.
Yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Little brother, this is your sister, you're busy, I get you, but I insist you call me back cause I miss you.